Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Synthwave Hangout. And I believe this is episode 59. Does that sound right, Dom?
That's what it says.
Oh, it does say that? Okay, good.
You wrote it down. You wrote it down on there. Yep.
In our grand tradition of things, I am, setting up stuff quickly at the end, and I'll look at the last episode and I'm like, oh, okay, 58. And then I'll put one more, I'll be like, oh, 59. And then I get on the show and I'm like, what is this, episode 4? 5?
What is this,
100?
2?
Right. It's funny too because I feel like almost every show starts off with me having some like low level panic right when we get on. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on, which must make the guests feel real good, like very very confident that they know that we know what's happening and we're doing the right thing.
That's right. We're very professional. We know exactly what we're doing.
Right. Well, you are in the bath still, right? Doing this broadcast.
Glub.
Right. There it is. Your computer is just balancing on a hockey stick, right above the water.
Well, I actually have one of those like eating trays, from back in the day, and it just sits right across the tub.
Right. Well, don't let it fall in. Don't, because I don't think Craig is ready to become the
co-host.
Right away on the show. So. Oh my God. But the good news is, we didn't introduce ourselves to anyone who's listening who's not familiar. So I'm Dave, also known as Memory Design.
And I am Woren, also known as Dominic, a.k.a. Windows, a.k.a. that dude.
And I'm reminded of a time where we had this great plan to keep Windows separate from Warren and you. It's like a secret identity.
That was never going to happen.
Like no one will ever know, right?
Right. The few people who knew were just like, by the way, this is Warren. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
Right. Well, yeah. So for anybody in the future who is planning on doing that kind of stuff, if you have any kind of public persona at all, it is, I feel, impossible to keep that separate. But, I'm sure some people do. I'm sure I'll find out later that, this artist is this other artist that I love or something and I never knew. But, we weren't able to do that, though. That wasn't part of our wheelhouse.
No, it just never happened. Like I said, I remember, I forget who exactly the first person was that did it, but I remember we were in like a listening party and I hopped in as Windows and they were like, oh, by the way, Windows is Warren. I'm like, why are you doing this to me?
Right. Oh, man. Well, speaking of grand disasters, we have a great, no, I'm just kidding. We have a great guest today that I'm very excited about and somebody that I'm thrilled agreed to be our first guest of 2026. And I hope everybody can welcome Atlas Neon to the show. Welcome, sir. Thank you for being on with us.
Oh, hi there. And yes, I am single and ready to flamingo.
I love the hi there. Hi there. How are you? That is so perfect.
Well, hello.
That is perfect. And I'm familiar with that from the like the Instagram reels and stuff that you do, which Dom and I love, by the way. Even before I think we started talking, we were talking about these little Instagram things you used to do, like the green screen stuff and inserting, you into movies and that kind of stuff.
Right, like you in The Fifth Element.
I've got to get back at that. I've got a list of movie shorts that I want to kind of cut to make content with, like green screen stuff, maybe some Blade Runner, and just get witty with it.
Running Man. You got to do a Running Man.
Oh yeah, but I love
that's a good idea.
I love how your character is always just like confused and annoyed by everything going on. Like the movie is happening around you seriously, and it's always like, what's going on here, or something like that. I find that hilarious every time.
Yeah, I very much insert myself into it, and I think it plays off well when it works.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's failed to not work yet. So, like I said, I don't know if we were talking yet. I mean, we were, but we were talking with Atlas or not. But you remember going over this, right? About how we were just like going on and on about how cool these reels were that he makes.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like I said, specifically for me, it was the Fifth Element one that I liked a lot because that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
and the part where he's like, "Give me the cash," like that's one of my favorite scenes. Because just before that, he's like, or no, maybe it's just after that. But they're like, what are you? Who are you? He's like, I'm a meat popsicle or something like that. And like, it just, I don't know. The whole movie's good.
Yeah, that scene in general slayed me growing up, and me and my friends would just kind of like share that dance move he does, the awkward dance.
Right. He's
And
like,
I was like, I gotta include this. It's just like too good.
Yeah, well, yeah, you should definitely get back into that. I mean, I know those probably take forever to do, right? But I enjoy them. So.
Yeah, honestly, I think I could maybe easily spend 6 hours, 8 hours if I really take my time with it. I legit would storyboard those out, like draw them out.
Wow.
And be like, this is how I want to, approach it. And then I would set up the green screen, do multiple takes, and then some overdubs with audio and stuff. It's a process for sure.
Well, it definitely shows. A lot of stuff you do, not only with music, but this visual stuff you do is always very good, like very high quality. And I don't know if you were telling me this or I just imagined it about you have some history, right, in like design or film or something like that, right? Because this isn't just an accident, right?
Yeah, I went to school for graphic design and originally started working doing design and marketing with one of my cousins in Kansas City, and that kind of like led to everything else. I was into music at that time, and I was just taking like a DAW class, but I was not like ever expected to get into making music.
Yeah,
I was just doing it for fun. Yeah,
gotcha. Yeah,
but yeah, design plays a big part.
You can always tell because, like, when I make a reel that I'm on it, it's like, hey, what's up? This is Dave from Memory Design. And there's, like, a light behind me or something. And then, like, when you or some other people I see make stuff, it, like, looks correct, like, from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's, like, properly lit.
Right. Everything's properly lit. The camera doesn't look like an iPhone SE from, like, 2013.
Right.
Like,
you got, like, the fisheye lens by accident on. You're like, damn.
Right, so yeah, definitely keep it up. I love that stuff. But hey, I forgot to pre-warn you about this question, like I always do. So I'm just gonna ask you cold, if you don't mind. But
no, we warned them.
Oh no! Oh, did we? I don't know if we did. I didn't. But
yeah.
So I always ask the guests when they come on if they could talk about their music project or like what the sound is. Kind of if you had to describe it to somebody who's unfamiliar with the music that Atlas Neon makes.
Yeah, for sure. It's easily put, just like synthwave with EDM drops is kind of how I see the whole idea.
Yeah.
So, really trying to normally I love synthwave and I just come from an EDM background. I wanted it to have that like EDC festival like feel on the drops. And I was like, that's pretty much what I did.
That's probably the most succinct description we've ever heard on to that question, and it is super accurate. I mean, for anybody who's listening,
for sure,
who doesn't know your music, you will hear exactly what he's talking about. And that's
we had this guy Windows on, and he had like a whole diatribe, right, about that guy, how he got into music and all those other things. Like,
yeah, well, then that's why he's banned from the show.
That's fine. Yeah. Deserves it. He really does.
He was a jerk. No, I alluded to this a little bit when we were talking yesterday on the pre-call, but one reason I love your sound and is because I don't really understand how you can produce that level of music, and I don't know if it's because I have no EDM background. I don't really listen to that type of music, but like. You do sounds and you do in your compositions and all this kind of stuff that I just like would never be able to produce myself. I think. I mean, it's not how my brain works. I don't know what it is about what you do, but I just hear it. And I'm just like very impressed every time.
Yeah, take us through your whole process from beginning to end.
Right. Yeah, from beginning to end. That's that's the rest of the show. Could you describe everything happening on your DAW for us real quick?
I could do it pretty quickly. It's a lot of my process, in short, is really, coming from two different reference ideas. Like it's whether it's going to be some sort of EDM idea just for the drops, which I'll reference, and then I'll reference some synthwavy or vaporwave kind of ideas. And it's kind of combining multiple references. That way I can achieve the feel I'm trying to get. It's like I really love a verse, and then it's like, yay, but this drop's got to be like, tech house, or this drop's got to be drum and bass. I'll kind of mess around with those. And but yeah, multiple references is, I think, key to what really brings my my project to life, for sure.
But the energy in your songs that I feel is like it's already very intense, and then it'll kind of have like a drop, like a boo or something like that. And then it gets even more intense after that. And I'm like, I didn't realize that could happen, in a song.
Yeah, I love to do that kind of stuff where it's like, in dubstep, I think they call it like what do they call it? It's like a false drop. Like you think it's a drop, and then like it'll just like you have the sub bass or whatever, hit in, and then it just like, oh wait, here it comes.
Right. And a lot of times, like, I feel like if we were just like, if this was like a movie and they were like zooming into someone's face listening, it would just start like vibrating heavily, to the person, like they're like flying at Mach speed or something and like bleeding from the nose or something, because it just comes in with such a like a higher energy after those drops with like, that this is what I'm talking about. I'm even having trouble describing it because like, how there's certain music that I don't know if it's how people grow up or what they're into or whatever, but you write music, or at least I do, kind of in a certain way, and like my brain never goes to this kind of stuff, so I'm always very impressed when like I like something and I'm like, how did they do that? And like, I'll look at like the stuff I have and I'm like, nothing I have can do this. Like that kind of thing. So I don't know, I'm kind of hitting the same point over and over, I guess. Like, sorry, go ahead.
I hear I totally get what you're saying, because I'll hear tons of other artists even on our label, and I'm like, man, I don't know how they write stuff that's so pretty or like so like awesome leads and stuff. And it's the same kind of thing. It's like you'll hear other artists who have a completely different, like you're saying, upbringing, the music that inspired them and stuff, and it's like the way they flow with it, that arrangement is just, it's unique to, I guess, our experiences, our past. And my past was very much punk rock, lots of energy, electronic music, house music, EDM, like drum and bass, all that stuff. So I'm trying to calm down now. Like I'm 41.
Right.
I'm trying to feel. Hopefully my next stuff won't be as crazy, but I'm trying to tone it down with age.
Well, I've noticed that, I mean, some of the songs on this album that you just released are a little toned down already, at least from the stuff I've heard from you in the past. Not in like a bad way, but like, I don't know, like some of it leans a little bit more into synthwave, in my opinion. Anyways, would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, 100%. I definitely had that intention, especially with the vocal ideas I was working on with this track, was to kind of balance it out a little more.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely comes through in the best way, by the way. Because it's excellent when you have an artist who has multiple releases, albums, singles, this kind of stuff, where like everything is good, but not everything sounds the same. You know what I mean? It's not like here's another album of the exact same stuff, just with like different arrangements. Right. And people get into that, and sometimes it's very successful. If you have a sound that is like the only thing people want, I see why people do that kind of stuff. But if you have the ability to expand and like with a lot of artists, it's like even the stuff that you're doing on this album that leans a little bit more into synthwave, it is very Atlas Neon too at the same time. It's not like, did somebody else write this? I know you wrote this. Like that kind of a thing.
I wouldn't even say that. I mean, it's just like, it's also has some of the most catchy tracks I've heard in a while. Like there's, I've gone through and listened to several tracks multiple times. So.
Right. I've listened to 2 tracks a few times right on this.
Well, no, there's a handful of them, but but like there's one in particular I've listened to too many times probably, but like I've listened to them. I really like the album. That's all I guess I'm trying to say. It's like, it's really well done.
Yeah, you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get a few compliments during the show, because we're both kind of fanboys of this album. So you might get a couple compliments during our time together here.
Well, hell yeah, boys! Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You're like, go on.
Just tell me more. For us.
Yeah. Right. And what did you think of the bass line? Right. It was good.
I've been stoked about this album for a while, and I think some of those catchy tracks you guys like are definitely the ones where I leaned, with some of the vocalists and stuff. I'm really happy with like their performances and how we were able to collaborate and really kind of make something a little more unique with my signature sound. So like you're saying, you hear it and you're like, oh, that's Atlas for sure.
Right. Yeah, that's the way that I think that's the way it should be. Like, I love like hearing a collab with somebody or something like that. I'm like, this feels like this artist. And then I see that they're on the album, the track, and I'm like, okay. Especially if it's somebody I like. So that is very cool. But there's some questions in the chat and stuff like that we're going to have to get to after this next music block, because we are getting up to the point where we have to move on. We're at 1:30. So if you guys don't have anything else real quick, we can move on and we'll come back after and answer some of these questions about your mask and a bunch of other stuff like that I'm sure people want to know about. So, all right. So let's move on. Go ahead and mute your mics, and we will be back after about 10 minutes. This first one up in this next block is the newest one by Perfect Female Type called Logical Horizon. Here we go.
back and wait. Was a hard
And we are back. And one thing that we sometimes ask guests this is, you know, are there any artists you want to play from Retro Synth on the show or whatever? And we had Atlas just suggesting like all of my favorite stuff over and over again to me, including that last song. So excellent picks there, by the way. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Daniel's stuff was great. That vocoder for real. I got to get on that. I don't even know how to do that. I've never made a song like that.
Me either. Every time I do a vocoder, it sounds like crap.
It sounds like total trash, right? He's got something that we don't have, I think. Maybe it's talent. Maybe it's a plugin. Maybe it's an actual vocoder. Who knows, right? I don't know.
It's like every time I do it, it never, ever turns out good.
Right. Yeah, he definitely has it down, but I really like that whole album you did. So I'm glad that you suggested that. I don't think I try to feature it as much as I can, but you know, there's a lot of music that comes out all the time, right? So you can't be featuring stuff the same stuff all the time. But I like to work that in as many times as I can. So, anyways, before we got into this block, there were some people asking some questions in the chat, and I know people are curious about your mask that you made for the Alice Neon character and everything like that. Do you have like or can you talk about that? But also, there's like a sort of a cinematic universe around this character, right? A little bit. I guess that's a silly way of saying it.
Yeah, it's really the origin story behind, I guess, my whole villain arc with that is. It's a meme. It essentially is a meme. So the mask is created by a Russian artist named Neon Dazer, and he made the mask in a 3D animation kind of project thing. He made it for clout because he was like trying to build his brand. Yeah, and this was kind of during COVID and stuff. And he made like this viral, essentially like this viral hit piece where he was like claiming it was a Kanye. Yeezy mask,
right? Like a Yeezy mask,
like a foam runner helmet that people could purchase and stuff.
Yeah,
and it went crazy viral. I remember seeing it, and I didn't even know who the artist was at the time. I just saw the meme, and I was like, that is such a cool helmet, man. That'd be so cool to have to like mess around with and play with shows and stuff. And it's funny, like I found a website that was supposedly taking pre-orders for said helmet, right?
Okay,
and it was like $250. I spent the bread and I got totally scammed.
Oh my god!
And I was like, what in the hell is going on? And then I was like, I'm gonna dig into this, and I found the artist, and I contacted him, and he's like, oh my god, like he's like, yeah, these people have been like, saying I'm scamming people from overseas and this and that, and I mean, it's just like this crazy story. And I was like, well, besides all that, I was like, dude, your helmet it's fucking badass. He's like, I was like, do you have a 3D printer? Can you send me the STL file? I would love to like use this for this project that I'm working on. And yeah, he sent me the STL files.
Wow.
I found a printer here in the States who kind of like reworked it just a bit so it could kind of like fit. We made some of the eye holes a little bit bigger because it was really hard to see out of the first mock-ups we did. And yeah, he printed me the stuff. So essentially it is a, I guess in the world you would say it's a Yeezy shoe, like
right.
a foam runner. right. And like some people say it looks like a bicycle helmet and stuff like that, but people who know what foam runners, like, the younger kids are super hip to it. They know exactly what it is.
I never thought about that. Like a bicycle helmet you're wearing directly on your face.
Backward, yeah, exactly on your face. Yeah, it's kind of what it looks like, but it's awesome because it doesn't exist,
Right.
It's one of those things that just existed for clout and for a meme, so this guy could like, get attention on his art, which it did. He's got, he's done so many cool things since then. So I recommend anyone to go check him out. Again, Neon Dazer. Check him out on Instagram. He's got some awesome art. Super cool dude. And yeah, that's kind of like where the helmet idea came from. And he's made me a couple renditions, and my printer here in the States is making me a second gen helmet right now, which is kind of taking us a while. We're going more of like a space route, kind of like modular thing, something I can that's a little easier for me to take on and off with like a glass shield versus having to wear
I'm so jealous
filters. It's gonna be cool.
Dude,
once
this is what Dom's been wanting to do the whole time.
This is what I wanted to do with Woren forever. Was I wanted to have like a full like space wizard outfit.
I thought it was a knight of some kind.
Well, it's a space wizard knight. Like it's a space knight, wizard, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But it's like a tech wizard. I think somebody said.
Tech time. Wizard.
But yeah,
sure.
it was like, yeah, like the whole Woren thing was like, I really wanted this like really cool like outfit with a cape, and somehow it's always blowing in the wind. You know what I mean?
right, at all times. Yeah, man.
Right, no matter where I am.
We could have had a big battery powered fan on your butt the whole time, just so even in like a store, it's blowing. Even inside. That would have been excellent.
I have somebody that all times follow me around with a giant fan and a very long extension cord.
Yeah, it has to be plugged in the whole time.
It's like knocking over like displays and stuff in the store and tripping people.
Hell yeah! See, yeah, we're thinking the exact same.
You're onto something,
right?
Yeah, I think you could do like a
it accidentally unplugs and I fire that person and I have to find a new person for the fan.
Right. Gotta get your your list of interns. So how many masks are there in this collection now?
I personally think I have 6.
Wow.
And
okay.
We just discovered last night. I forgot that I had one that glowed in the dark.
Right.
So I used that for some content. But yeah, I've got 6. I've got like a chrome one. I got a couple paintable ones that I want to mess with. That I just haven't found the time to like sand down and prep, because like the 3D material and stuff it's some of it can be a little bit brittle, so you just like need to take your time when you're working with it. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, but looking forward to the new stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new stuff too. I mean, the imagery is really cool. I've always thought that, even before we started talking and everything, it was like the look and everything. And I didn't know if you were one of these people that like would never show your face, or like one of those type of deals that some artists have where they have some sort of mask and it's just like you don't know.
Why did
really
you do
are.
that? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's talk about that. No, but you know what I'm saying.
Initially, I didn't want to show my face. I think I didn't show my face for like maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't really, not feeling that. And then I kind of like figured I had to break the fourth wall kind of thing and put myself out there in the universe if I wanted people to really pay attention to me. It's not, I wasn't going to be like Batman, like I was saying. It's like, nobody cared who I was until I put the mask on.
Right.
Why couldn't you be ugly, is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why couldn't you just be like an ugly guy? And then everyone would be like, okay, we get it.
No, the goal is that, when you get into a mask thing like that, anybody could be Atlas Neon, right? So, like, you could be playing shows and be sick one time and have an imposter on, right? And they could just do
totally,
the show.
yeah. Yeah, totally. There's a EDM group like that with like Rez and some of these other people where it's like four producers who have this one avatar that they use.
Yeah.
I think it's called Death Pact. You can check them out, but Death Pact is like 4 producers. So at any one time you go see Death Pact live, it could be one of these 4 producers playing, which is crazy to think about. But I also like the idea. I was like, these masks are kind of cheap to like mass produce, and I was like thinking about it. I was like, maybe I should just start selling them, like at least have my printer link me in so I can get people to wear them, because it's cool. It's cool. It doesn't exist, and this guy can make them for people. It'd be cool to see a group of people mobbing around with them on. Be fun.
Yeah, for real. I know we spoke about this a little bit. I think that would be cool. I mean, you would sell one to me. I would definitely get one. I'd want the glow in the dark one, I think. We'd have
the glow in the dark
options.
One is a hit for sure.
We know why Dave wants that.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I'm going to leave it at that.
I told you that in confidence, so we'll keep that.
Yeah.
But hey, so coming up next on the show, we have your first block of music. And so, like with every guest, we asked them to bring any of 3 songs of theirs that they want, and you picked 3 songs off the new album, Nightmare Arcade, which came out it was been out on Bandcamp a little bit early, but it came out the first, right, on everywhere else, like streaming platforms and whatnot. So, so I always give it to the artist if they want to talk about any of these tracks before people listen to them. You know, anything about them, about their production or whatever you feel is meaningful. So I put them in the order I think that you gave them to me.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
Was it Midnight?
Miami, Nightmare, and Midnight is the order I have it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So, 2 of them with the vocals. It's going to be Miami Heat, and then I believe Midnight Moves.
Yep.
Miami Heat's actually the first synthwave-esque song I ever wrote, and I wrote that when I was discovering my villain arc back in 2017 after I had a breakup with this girl who, left me for the guy who she said not to worry about.
Classic.
Wouldn't marry him.
Never worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
That started my villain arc. I was like, oh, legit, left and married the dude. Started my villain arc, and I wrote the first song I ever wrote was that kind of after listening to like Sunset Neon and some other classic like The Midnight and all these other people back then. And Neil is a friend of mine that lives in El Paso, Texas, and I had moved to El Paso during COVID, and we kind of just like sat around and banged on that track for a while. And he's phenomenal. He's super talented guitar player, singer, and he's in a band called The Great Shapes. And yeah, he just laid down some killer stuff. And I personally never felt like that song and Midnight Moves were ready, because we wrote those like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Like 3 or 4 years ago. I
didn't know that.
And I at the time, I felt like I needed to know more about production, because I didn't want to release them, because I was like, oh, these are too good to like release sloppy. Like his performance, and even my friend Jared Guadarrama, he did the guitars and this insane face melting solos on Midnight Moves, and I was like, man, these guys are just like, I don't want to let them down, so I kind of like waited until I knew enough. And then it was like within the past 6 months I really like grinded and redid the mixing production on them and some of the other stuff, and I was like, it's finally time to let these songs go, because they're just like, the vocal performances and the guitar performances were just like, to me, blew my mind. And I was like, man, I gotta give these guys, the credit where credit's due, and make sure that they get heard, because they're up and coming artists. And that's one of my favorite things to do, is collab with other artists that I know or that I meet, and try to bring each other up.
Yep.
And I was like, I just didn't want to let them down.
Rising tide raises all boats,
For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I think Dom and I are big fans of Neil Henry, by the way, so you can let him know that. I love his vocals.
I actually got to reach out to him. I added him, and he added me back, and I was like, oh, I'll just hit him up after the holiday, and then like in the but I really enjoy his voice. I like what he does. I think he's got a really good rhythm and good melodies, and just a very unique voice.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. He does have that. It's like, oh wow, like that's Neil. Like right away when he's singing like who it is. He's one of those guys. So That's awesome. I'm gonna pass the word on.
Yeah, for sure. I love when people do a collab or like have a featured vocalist who is somebody that they know who may be available to work with others, right? And you bring them in and like they're not well known yet, right? But they're really, really good. That is like my favorite thing to discover, because, you know, then perhaps they would want to work with you, or, you know, you can recommend them if somebody's like, hey, I'm looking for a vocalist, and you know anybody, you know, that kind of stuff, and you can kind of pass them on and hopefully get them some more. I found out
Dave does Sinatra. You know?
Right. Keep that to yourself. We told Atlas we wouldn't tell him that, okay? You know, the Sinatra stuff.
Granted, this wasn't a dream, but
yeah,
okay.
Good. Go with the dream narrative. Yeah, it was totally a dream. Yeah. Totally a dream. Yeah,
totally a dream. Dave was just singing Sinatra perfectly.
What are we talking about now? Where did we go?
No, that's good. That's good that you're saying is like a fever dream, and to lead into that, that's kind of.
I woke up in a sweat. Yes.
Right. You're like, yeah, so fever dream. So on to Nightmare Arcade then. Let's. Right.
Yeah, Nightmare Arcade. Exactly. I guess that's the third one I picked up. That was another collab that was actually one of these remix like project things that the cyberpunk producer was trying to get people to remix this stuff.
Okay.
And it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you'll pick this or that or whatever, like if we like it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it was going to go through or not, and then I kind of just like did this whole thing, and the guys loved it, and that was one also that took me a while to kind of like, I think we worked on that back and forth over a year before before they were like, oh yeah, this is great, and then they just let me run with it and like kind of redo a lot of their parts, and essentially like, you know, I took the basis of what the song was and then created, you know, this awesome.
So they kind of let you just have it after you were doing so well with it.
Yeah, they're like, let's just do a co-release at this point, because it's like it's become something completely different, and I just remember like they would send me some stuff, and then I was like, oh, I like what you did here, and then I just rework it completely, like bounce their stuff to MIDI and just like rework it, because if I didn't like a sound or something. But Nightmare Arcade, that one's, you know, super aggressive. It's fun.
It's really fun. And
video game theme.
Right. I was going to say that, like, that's a pretty cool aspect of it that I think if people aren't familiar with it, they're going to be surprised, you know, because there's elements. This is like what I was talking about before. There's elements in this song that pop in all over the place, right? And you may not be expecting something, and then there it is. You know, it comes in and it makes it even cooler. And so this is like a perfect example of what I was talking about with your production before. Is Nightmare Arcade, like that style of song? Very cool, very cool stuff. So what do you think? Do you want to move on and we can listen to these?
Jam the tune.
Yeah, let's jam it on.
Yep.
Yeah, let's jam and then we can chat some more.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so first one up is Miami Heat featuring Neil Henry. Here we go.
it at midnight. I just like the way you move it in the light. Move it in the light as we move it at midnight. I just like the way. I just like the way you move it in the light. You move it in the light as we move it at midnight.
And we're back. And what a great showing from that album. I think it shows like all the different kinds of energy I think that's on it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good selection. But also, we need some sort of like good clapping thing, I think, on the soundboard.
Yeah.
We need any kind of soundboard, because I think it'd be funny to have like a not funny, but like
a round of applause.
Yeah, like a round of applause or something.
Yeah, you know that song has lived rent free in my head for like a little over a week now.
Yeah.
Because I bought the album early, so I got to listen to it, a bunch of times.
Yeah, great job.
And,
great job on that album.
Yeah.
It is.
Thanks.
It is so good. I'm really happy with it. I don't love everything that comes out all the time or anything like that, and it is so refreshing when an album comes out where I'm just like, love the whole thing. You can just like put the album on in its entirety, and it's just like an experience. So excellent work.
Thank you, boys. Thank you. It's definitely a fever dream, right? Starts off nice and pretty.
Yep. Gets
like, dark. And I think it ends super dark, which I didn't include. I think a couple of those on here, maybe a little too much.
No, it's you don't want an album to just be kind of static all the way through. I like when it kind of brings you on a not journey is maybe a weird word to say, but you know what I'm saying. Like it explain, you feel something throughout it, and it's interesting to listen to it from like start to finish. Were you saying something, Dom? Sorry.
There it is.
There you go.
We need people just hysterically freaking out after like the song.
I could do that. I could probably figure that out.
Well, you could do that yourself.
I could probably just come on. Let me just turn my hand and be like, something like that, like in the background.
Yeah, for some reason your mic kept cutting out in the middle of that, but yes, something like that is, I think, what we're looking for. But,
all right. Like, ow! Like something like that from the background.
Exactly. Something exactly like that. So you just released this album, and what do you do? What is your typical thing with album stuff? Do you go through like a promotional cycle where you're like, say, I'm not doing anything for months or something? Do you get right back into it? Like, how do you work typically like that?
I'm going to take my first break actually this year and focus on some more live play, because I've kind of been burning, the candle at both ends, so to speak. I've kind of just, this last year has been really tough for me, and if you guys have been following a little bit, like depressing. I've been had lost my job kind of thing, like was getting out of an industry and had a lot of time to focus on music. So I would say I've had an abnormal amount of time.
Yep.
Because like I actually released my first album last, I think was maybe February or April, which was an album that took me another 2 years to actually do. And this, I've had like, 40 songs that I was sitting on, and,
wow.
I was able to just kind of like make a calendar, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give, 2 to 3 songs a week, and I want to, finish them and start stacking them because I want to release them. And as far as like promotional timeline thing, I'm not the best at that. I haven't been like, oh, I'm going to like, create this is going to be released in a month, so I'm going to make a post every now and then. I kind of just do it when I feel it. And it seems to work out better for me when I do that. Plus, I'm not trying to even like figure out the algorithm anymore at this point. I'm just going to try to stay authentic and ignore some of the algorithmic stuff,
Yeah, I think you can make yourself nuts by that, right? Because you start seeing things that aren't real and believing things that have no backing. Like, oh, if I post at 8 a.m. every day for 2 weeks, then the algorithm will pick this up and blah blah blah. And meanwhile, you have no idea what the hell is going on, right? Not really, anyways. Because people say all sorts of stuff about like how to get it right or wrong, and it never tracks in my experience.
It's really all about networking, in my opinion. I think it's more about getting to know people. Just doing the work and everything, because social media is cool and all, but like unless you're really like on that grind all the time and you're posting like 3 times a day, like it's I don't know.
Well,
like you got better things. You know what I mean? You got music.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, you're okay. I was just gonna say there's just better things to do. Music and like being creative in other ways.
Yeah, and mask production.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very important. You got to make more masks.
Yeah, more masks, and
Right.
I feel like I spent a lot of time, learning the craft also because I had hired some mentors in the past. I actually worked with Jed Rogue VHS, and he really, set me on the right path. I think a few years ago, and then I hired one of these YouTubers, this guy Will. His channel's called EDM Tips, and I was really focused on that and not marketing. Maybe I'll try the marketing thing this year, but I really want to take it back to the roots. Like I come from a background of playing guitar in like jazz groups and stuff like that, which I actually studied in college and stuff. I was obsessed with like jazz fusion, Latin jazz, and stuff like that. And it's crazy. Kind of when I fell down the production hole, I kind of just stopped playing guitar and sold my guitars. And recently, I made this like New Year's resolution to myself, apart from trying to be more present with my son, which is really the reason I do everything. That's like kind of the project's name is Atlas Neon, and my son's name is Atlas. And some people might not know my actual name is Chris, but I go by Atlas, obviously for reasons.
Right.
With, sharing myself out there. But yeah, I want to take it back old school. Like I was thinking, like, should I go the pioneer route? Like I had these pioneers that I got to DJ with, and I was like, it just felt inauthentic. I didn't like how it was representing the music because I want it to feel more raw and engaging. So I actually just sold my pioneers, and I just purchased a guitar the other day, which hopefully I'll have next week so I can start making good content with it.
What'd you get?
I really missed. I got a Schecter Nick Johnston 10th anniversary edition. It's like this crazy purple guitar. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I suspect it might show up in a reel at one point, right?
Oh yeah.
You're already storyboarding it out, right?
I would pretty much rip that. What I would love to do is take a lot of like your guys' songs and other people's songs from the label and make content with it. Obviously, with approval and stuff. But I would love to I hear so many songs that I'd like to play guitar over, and I think I'm gonna just try that for content. It seems like a nice, authentic approach,
So I've got an idea that you could do. So this new mask, right? That's the Atlas Neon that plays guitar, right? With the visor mask, right? That's the one that plays guitar. The other one doesn't. The other one is just all, synth EDM type stuff. So there you go. That's the perfect idea. You can take that
Free of charge.
And then I will just dine on that idea forever when you're like out, performing in stadiums. I'll be like, I told him to play the guitar in the other mask. Right. And then
I'm feeling that. I like that, actually. I need to tell my printer to hurry up. He's been dragging his feet. It's I'll get on that ASAP because it's literally, we've been working on this second rendition like a year.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That have you ever thought about buying like a printer yourself, doing that kind of stuff? Or is it like the level you need is just like not something you have in a house, that kind of a thing?
I honestly don't think I have the RAM or the bandwidth internally to like take on learning how to do that properly and efficiently. You know what I mean? It's so much, and like I've already stacked so much. Like my RAM's been filtered out. Like I'm running on fumes. I've got all my production knowledge and the time with my kid. I don't know how I would learn to do STL files properly and the cleanup. I follow some like really cool printers out there because I was interested in it. It's just a whole nother game, man.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother game. It's crazy.
There's a lot of stuff like that in my life too, where I'm like, man, I wish I had the time to learn this or that. Like 3D printing is one, that I find very cool, and I wish I could do that. And my daughter, of course, is like interested in that as well. But like, I don't have the time right now or the mental capacity to do what I'm supposed to already be doing, so like I'm like, let me add some huge hobby onto this.
Yeah, it's really tough to make the time for certain things. You really got to pick and choose what you're going to be like, involved in.
Yes, 100%.
But at least you have somebody that can do it for you, that you can work with. I mean, that is very lucky. I mean, that's pretty sweet that you have that. And I love the whole, like Synthwave's villain thing and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to a lot more of that kind of content going forward.
Yeah,
it's a cool arc and stuff.
I feel like that makes the most sense for my music because it's, it's not like at first I didn't even want to categorize myself as Synthwave because I felt like it was more so EDM, but then it was just kind of too niche to even be EDM at that point, because it was like too much of the retro stuff, which really isn't, being played out right now. There's not really.
It really
DJs
doesn't need a label. You know what I mean? I think you're pretty much beyond all those things, because like, you're kind of just taking a little bit from each one.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, there's really no need for the label. But I mean, I guess it is good for people to like understand, like if they're looking for a certain thing.
But also, like people say that, synthwave is really saturated and everything, but my God, not compared to the EDM world, right? So at
EDM
least,
is like 100 times worse.
Right.
Yeah.
So at least you have like, you can expand into all these different things, but at least you have kind of a more niche genre that, you have a better chance of standing out in, I think, than another EDM artist coming on the scene, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. Because EDM is the most saturated, if you ask me. Like, definitely the most. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess from experience, this is just what I've heard over and over and over again from people, that like, it's very hard to break into EDM and like get seen in any kind of way.
Right, but I bet you it's just like any other, music community. It's like, this is probably the complaint on every niche genre or any genre in general.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess that's true. I'm just saying that it's cool that, if you blend the two, right, you can appeal to both sides, which is fun. Like, it's just like with Dance with the Dead. Like, I have friends that hate Synthwave and love Dance with the Dead because they're metal fans. Like that kind of a thing, and then vice versa, too. It's just kind of like, it's cool to like blend the genres in a way, because you expand your appeal, I think.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
But
definitely the marriage of two houses to kind of like unite the faction for the greater good, kind of thing. It's like, let's try some new stuff that like bring together the worlds. That's definitely the route I was headed.
Nice. I'm sorry, I'm a little rushed here. I just noticed what time it is. We're just chatting it up, and it's already close to 11:30 here our time.
That's crazy, right?
So you brought 3 songs that are, what would you say, influential for you, right? Or like it's things that like you took and had something to do with the creation of almost like the Alice Neon sound, or at least the motivation to start making that kind of music. So can you do you want to quickly talk about these? Talk about them after?
Yeah, we could go real quickly. I think the Sunset Neon one.
No, I'm starting off with Tyconic. Tyconic, and then ending with Sunset Neon.
Tyler, maybe some people may not be familiar with his music. He is one of the first synthwave artists that I was actually able to talk to, who would actually respond to me on Instagram. And I reached out to him during a road trip, and I was like, dude, your music's phenomenal. It sounds awesome. Like, how'd you get started? What are you doing? Kind of stuff. Because I wanted to like, get on that level. And he came out with, a few different albums, but this one song, Breaking Barriers, really just stuck with me because it felt very unique and not really cyberpunk, but was kind of like bridging some EDM kind of feel stuff with beautiful lush chords and leads, and it just really inspired me to kind of like chase my own thing. So that's that one for sure. And then I think I also picked
Essinger and Pilot, which is all you have to say is those names, right? And you're like, oh, okay.
Essinger in general, I mean, come on, more vocoder like loveliness. I can't get enough of the vocoder action he does. Yeah. And the Sunset Neon, Sunset Neon was really there for me when I was discovering my villain arc after the breakup. It's just his songs with the, like we were talking about how you mentioned the echoed out reverb on all the vocals. It's just such a vibe, and he's has his own unique approach to the genre as well. So these guys just really inspired me in the get-go from the beginning.
And I love when people bring influences too, because I listen to these songs and I know the guest music that we're having on, and I like to kind of see, or I mean, maybe I'm just putting this together in my head, little nuances I pick up. I'm like, oh, I can kind of see the influence there, and why you might like this, or that kind of stuff. So it was really fun to listen to all of these, and I didn't know Sunset Neon, who I now love. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. You've given me a gift.
Glad I could share his stuff. He's phenomenal.
And which is so funny too, because there's so many artists and so many synthwave groups out there and artists or whatever, and I'm still discovering new ones and people that have been around for a long time, like that kind of a thing. And it's just like, I've seen a name, never approached it. Like the first time I heard Pilot, right? Speaking of Pilot, I'm like, oh, this is great, that kind of thing. But it was never on my radar before. So that's so I don't know. So I appreciate that you brought these in and everything, and I'm excited to share them with people. So
For sure.
there's nothing else.
Heck
Let me. We'll move on to that, so we don't
let's move on.
desperately run out of time before the end of the show, and then we'll come back after. So, all right. So first one's up is Tyconic, Beyond Barriers. Here we go. And we are back. What a great block. Great music. Good suggestions. But one of my favorite things, like about that Sunset Neon song, is it has what I call like the memory design approved amount of reverb on everything.
With that slap back.
Right.
Extra reverb, yeah.
I love a lot of reverb. I love like lush sounding stuff. And I work often with this engineer mix mastering person, and he is always giving me like such a hard time because I'm like, no, more reverb. And he's like, no, this should be on a single reverb bus. I'm like, no, I want it to compound. I want it
right.
And he's like, but you can't really mix that. It's gonna sound like garbage. I'm like, you're not. The vision is what I'm marking.
No, enhance.
Right.
Enhance. It
right.
needs more.
Right. You're misspeaking again. Right. Because when you talk to people that are used to, mixing various kinds of music and stuff, there's a lot of stuff I think in synthwave that goes against what you should do, or at least in my case it is. Right. You're like, no, the snare drum needs the reverb turned up to 50%. After you put a gated reverb on it, right? And it's one of these things where it's kind of a different animal, at least from my understanding. I'm not well known for like amazing mixes and masters, and I believe that's absolutely true. And so it's just kind of what I hear and what I like, and then I hope somebody can help me cross the finish line with it. And we'll see, we'll see what happens. So. Anyways, what was I going to say? All right, Dom, I forget. You take over. Go. This is your time. This is your
favorite color? No, I'm just kidding. So, no. I honestly, I don't really have a lot to say. You've pretty much covered a lot of it, man. Like I was going to ask, God, now I forget what.
Not good enough. Not good enough. All right, you're out. All right, Craig, get on the mic. It's your time. It's your time. Right. Craig to get on hot.
I know Craig's always going to wonder what's your favorite breakfast cereal, right? So
Craig
let's go favorite breakfast cereal.
Craig asked that an hour and a half ago in the chat.
Oh, was it answered in chat?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, Craig wants to know your favorite breakfast cereal.
Oh, definitely. It was always Cheerios. Except when I was younger, I did go through a Fruity Pebbles stage.
Ooh, well, that explains everything. Red number 5, right? That's it.
Yep. That did it. It really kicked the ADHD into high gear.
Right. You were totally normal right before the thing, and then now you're doing masks, and you're making movie cuts, and it's all red number 5. Just did it. I was big into all various things, but like I remember when my parents first bought Frosted Flakes, right? And because my mom was one of these moms that didn't want a lot of sugar cereal, like one of these types of things. And so we had a lot of like shredded wheat and a lot of boring stuff. And I remember we bought Frosted Flakes, and you know how it makes the milk really good? Because it's like sugary milk or whatever. And then she continued buying it because I wouldn't leave any milk in the bowl. Right. So like I accidentally leveled up there by like drinking more milk, but adding more sugar with it as well. So, and that was the last success I think I had in my life.
Do you remember Frosted Cheerios? Did anybody ever try the Frosted Cheerios? They got rid of them. They came in like a blue box.
Cheerios,
I remember correctly.
I remember that.
Those were amazing. I don't know what happened to them. They just
still make them.
No, I don't think they make the actual frost. I haven't seen them, at least not here.
No, literally I had Frosted Cheerios, no joke, like a month ago.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough.
You're blowing his mind. No, what if it's only a Michigan
thing? You're going to go into the fatter section?
You might be in a different timeline than me, actually, because I swear, like I was looking for them at H-E-B out here, and I could not find them because I wanted my kiddo to try them, and I was like, man, where are they? Like, what is going on?
So it's like you go to the gym and you're like working out, and then like you can't see sugar cereal when you go in the grocery store. You're like, I guess it's gone, right? Like your body doesn't allow you to see it because it's too unhealthy. Dom's like, yeah, it's right here. What's wrong with you? it's right.
Someone asked in the chat. Game Night asks, who's the hardest? Or wait, which artist was the most difficult or hardest to work with?
Yeah, he was asking in general, like synthwave artists who are like hard to work with.
Definitely Windows.
Yeah, that was my answer.
Well, I could answer that, I guess, real quick. As far as for my album, it was myself, because I kind of put way too much pressure on myself to like make things sound perfect. but it actually helped me kind of break my OCD cycle that I was kind of in this OCD cycle of rumination of like never feeling like it was good enough, or the side chain's not good enough, the master was never good enough. I was one of those people that constantly would put off projects for a year or longer because I didn't feel like it was good enough. So I actually was able to defeat that last year, and now I'm kind of just like going with the flow, and if something's imperfect a little bit, I'm going to be okay with it. I had to slay that demon. That one was hard, but yeah, definitely working with myself has been the hardest.
Well, first of all, that's a great answer, right? Because like, what if you said another artist's name like way too quickly, right?
Yeah, let me dog on someone real quick.
Right, like we can't even get the question out, and you're like Windows. Like
Windows. It was Windows
immediately. But no, for real though, that's something not everyone, but a lot of people deal with, myself included, that I'm still dealing with. And you have to slay that demon, as you said. You gotta, music dies if you never release it, and no one's gonna care if it just sits on your computer for the rest of your life, that kind of a thing. And so it's good to be okay with some imperfections now and then and that kind of thing. And like a lot of stuff with music, and I know this from releasing especially my earlier stuff with like poor mixes and stuff like that, like if the composition's good and the music's good, people can look past that kind of stuff. I mean, some people can't, but a lot of people just like the song for the song. I mean, think about how many like real bands there are, especially from like the 70s and early 80s and stuff like that there's just all sorts of errors, but it's just awesome, at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's something I never noticed until I got into production. I honestly don't think I noticed that until like 2020 when I really started paying attention. I had to go back and revisit like all the artists that I grew up loving, and I was like, man, the snare is fucking buried, or
right.
like, I would just pick it apart, and I was like, that's crazy that I never noticed those things before.
Oh yeah, right. My joke is always that like I'm a Joy Division fan, right? And so I'm always like, if they can do it with those kind of mixes and like recordings and everything, then I can do it. Like my stuff doesn't have to be totally perfect all the time. But now, of course, in my head, I'm always like, it has to be better and more perfect and everything. But yeah, you don't know unless you're like an artist, I think, listening to it. I mean, unless it's like objectively poor, like the snare is so badly mixed it's like blowing your eardrums out or something like that.
Right. And that could definitely be an issue with artists who get into more of the production mix master side of it too, because it's kind of like, it's like that whole psychological thing, like what you look for, like if you were thinking of buying a green car, when you go drive on the road the next day, you're going to see green cars everywhere because you're looking for a green car now.
Yep.
And it's kind of what your mind gravitates towards. You just kind of start looking for patterns. We're pattern machines, so we're trying to find those patterns and like trying to really learn and understand. But yeah, it's great to surrender and just let it go at a certain point, because it can really weigh down on you.
Back in the day when I was learning about different mixing aspects, and like the idea where like the snare is just supposed to like slightly top over the vocal, like just a hint higher than the vocal is how some people do it. And then I go back, like you were saying, and listen to all these bands that I love, and a lot of ones that were mixed like perfect, like these are like big time bands or whatever, they're mixed perfectly, of course, but so many are mixed sort of badly, by today's standards anyways, and all sorts of little tricks that I've learned online and from talking to people and stuff. It's just like, it didn't matter, I guess, back then as much as it matters now, or at least to me.
I honestly truly think that it really doesn't matter, because your average person does not care. Like, like if your average listener does not really care unless it's, like you said, unless it's horrendous.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
We grew up listening to like Deftones and stuff, dude. So it's like, I don't know.
Right. That was well, you did, I think. I remember. I was a total prog jazz fusion nerd and stuff like that. So like Deftones, no, I did like them though, but keep that a secret. Don't tell any of my high school friends.
Right, I won't tell anyone. Yeah, no, but it's like I listen to everything growing up. The only thing I don't listen to is country music, and I'll fight anybody on that. So.
Yeah, I never got into that either. I don't know. Are you a big country fan, Alice? Is this where the next thing?
Country was probably the first music I actually liked. Them and the Rolling Stones. My dad showed me when I was like 5 or 6, and I used to ask him to play country on like the FM radio before bed. I remember that specifically, but I really didn't understand music a whole bunch, and then I think the first time I actually found a song I loved was a Cher song. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I heard it on the radio, and I was like, oh, dope! Like this Cher song goes hard.
Yeah, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. I mean, like, there's so much catchy pop stuff, especially, you know, before you get in your mind all sorts of stuff like, oh, this is stupid, I can't listen to this, you know, like that kind of thinking. There's so much stuff that's enjoyable out there, you know, that you might be embarrassed to say now or whatever. But, you know, it's like, who didn't hear, like, you know, a Tiffany song in the 80s or something, and they're like, this is really catchy. And then if you're in high school, you're like, oh, I never listened to that. That's totally lame. You know, or something like that.
How many people did you know that were like, I don't like Backstreet Boys?
Oh,
but
yeah.
then, you know, like,
Big time.
you know, later in life, they're still jamming it.
Oh, big time. You know, like, catchy music is catchy. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. And as you get older, I mean, that this matters less and less. I still have some friends that are real stuck on this kind of stuff, but I don't know. I haven't been for years.
Yeah, we just punched those guys in the face, you know?
Right. Oh, I mentioned Tiffany, so Nick Rickson's upset, I think, in the chat, by the way. Oh, man. That's so funny. All right. So we got 13 minutes. We're kind of in a weird place right now. We have two more songs here before we have our goodbyes. I think we can fit them in. Do we want to move on, do you guys think, to these, and we'll come back and say our goodbyes, or is there something else?
Yeah.
That we're missing out on?
Yeah, we can jump in the chat.
Okay,
Unless
great.
anyone has a question. I'm not sure if anyone else has questions, like, per se, but
Yeah, throw them in the chat, and we'll come back after. We got about 8 minutes here of music, and then we'll come back after. All right, cool. All right, and then we'll say our goodbyes. All right, so here we go, and we will see you guys in a little bit.
Now
And we are back. That was just a 2-song block. Sorry, I should have told you guys that before because I knew we were running out of time. But yes, I think we hit all of the songs that we discussed yesterday. Right, Atlas?
Yeah.
I think that was everything.
We did.
But yes, and I'm glad we played that last one. We'll discuss further why at a future date. I'm sure more in depth, but good to share that with everyone there. But so you said there's some questions people asked in the chat that we can answer.
Question in the chat. Let's see here. We got. I think someone was asking what the music scene's like where I'm at. Currently, I just moved to San Antonio, so I actually haven't explored it much. However, Austin, Texas is about 45-minute drive, so the music scene there, I'm sure, is great. I have not met anybody out here yet in the scene, but I did. Someone was asking if I was from Texas, but I grew up in El Paso, Texas, so really like Mars Volta and At the Drive-In were like huge influences on me growing up. I saw them a ton live. And then when I got into EDM, I lived in Denver for about 10 years, and that's when I went down the whole Red Rocks, like dubstep shows every weekend kind of vibe. So yeah, I know about the scenes.
Yeah, you should talk to Eric Powell because he's from the Austin area. So I'm sure he'll be able to share that.
Oh, yeah, cool. I wasn't familiar. I didn't realize he was out there. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll give you his address. You can just go knock on his door.
Right. Let me just give his let me put a photo of his house up here real quick on the stream. No,
full name, all that.
I only put stuff out there because that's listed publicly, like on Bandcamp or something like that. But,
right.
But yeah, no, he's familiar with the scene and a real actual like OG 80s electronic music artist. So pretty cool. He definitely has some connections for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I heard he's got a bunch of free synths as well. You can probably go over there and talk to him about it. I'm just kidding.
Sure. He's old school 80s. He's got a garage full of them.
Right. Yeah, he opens the garage. There's just like 6 or 7 like ARP 2600s in there. He's
fart synth.
Oh yeah.
The game night also did ask a biggest guilty pleasure song, which I'm actually doing a remix of. It's an NSYNC song. I Want You Back? And hopefully they'll have that remix up soon, but
I'm not aware of that one.
Yeah, I don't know that one either.
I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. I don't know that one. And that's not me trying to like flex here. I really don't know it. I'm sure I've heard it.
Yeah, we'll stop. You know what? That's fine. I'll do the rest of the show. Dave, go away. It's fine.
Right.
I got this.
I have 70s Japanese fusion to listen to, okay? Can you just, back off for a second, right? No, but you'd be all about that, too, right? Chris, you'd be like, yeah, let's talk. No, what were you saying, though, Dom? Sorry, I thought we were all talking over each other, and I feel like I cut you off.
I don't remember. I don't. It's literally just, thought diarrhea. You know what I mean? Over here, so.
And that's the show, everyone.
Yeah, there we go. That's actually the name of my next album.
Thought diarrhea. Right, there you go. That's perfect. You got Atlas writing down all these ideas. You'll be like, I'll just wait for them to forget about it, and then I'll
He's like, I got the artwork, don't worry.
Yeah, right.
He's like, listen, it's an ass for a head.
Oh, there you go. Right. Get the printer working on that one. I'm sure he'll be coming right back to you. Right. It's like a big butt, actually, on my head. If you can just
it's like a giant butt cheeks on my head with a fountain coming out.
Right. Perfect. So that's a good. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
No. I'm gonna tag onto the mask idea here. I'll have my printer jump on that for.
Thank you.
So we are right at the top of the hour. Actually, it is noon here and noon by you, I think. So I think we're at the end of our show. Unfortunately, I usually don't just say that right out the gate, but time has gotten away from me, and I just noticed we are right at the top.
Well,
there.
Now I'm sad.
Yeah. No, I'm sad too. The show always goes really quick, and I'm always looking forward to talking to guests, and there's some people like you that I'm really excited to talk to more in depth and not just online and stuff like that. And it always goes so quickly, which is funny to me because it's not like we can't ever talk otherwise. Like this is it. This is the one opportunity, and then you're gone. You're moving to Iceland or something like that, and living in the middle of nowhere or something. So. If only there was a way we could continue communicating, right? I'll figure it out someday.
Right. Well, hopefully we can plan a show sometime in maybe in May or something like we were discussing earlier. We can have another show planned.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a real pleasure. It's been a real pleasure, and super grateful for the community we have with our label and everyone on it. guys have been just incredible. Just so much love and like support, and everyone's always trying to, you know, like you said, lift each other up in some kind of way. So happy to be here sharing my music. You guys have been phenomenal, and thanks to everyone who listens.
Yeah, and thank you for taking the time out of your Saturday morning to come on and hang out with us. And I always say on this like silly show where we're goofing around and stuff like that, but I love sharing music with people. I love sharing great music like we've been doing today with people, and it's my pleasure. And I was it's something that I look forward to every week, and I love having guests like you on because it's so fun to like, get to know you better, know your history, and know like the influences from behind the music and all that kind of stuff. So thank you. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. And then as always, I love you guys, and be mean to everybody. Don't forget to be mean to everyone.
This is the new year. Be mean to everybody.
Yeah. New year. No more. No being nice anymore. Everyone just be mean to everyone you meet. You know, just punch your neighbor, all that good stuff,
right,
you know.
Right.
And
Dom's getting real tough this year, right?
Yeah, right. I'm doing push-ups. I'm taking a lot of tea right now.
Yeah,
so
right. You've just become like an insufferable, like
growing a beard out. I'm yelling at all the young kids in my block. You know?
You're shaving off just the bottom of your beard, so you have a really aggressive handlebar mustache. You know, that goes into your side.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's what you need.
I have the handlebar mustache, and I have a clock in my beard.
You have a clock.
Oh man, that's you're mean because you're meaningful, Dom.
There it is.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down.
There.
No, but for real, be nice to everybody. Be nice to yourself. Love yourself first, obviously, and you know, and then just don't be a dick.
Right.
You know?
That's the
really
rule of
all
life. So we, as always, we're going to play out the show with a song by me and Dom. And what I'll do for Discord, I'll hang up so you guys can talk if you want. You won't come through the stream. And so
right
again,
on.
Alice, thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on, and we will see everybody next week. Later,
It's been
everyone.
a pleasure, boys.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
Oh, I forgot to hit the music. All right, later.